Revelation 2861. From the 26th of August 1943. Termination of world events by divine action. It is a higher power that decides world events, although human will intends to bring about a decisive turn. Human beings can never determine with certainty the effect of what their will causes, and thus never determine the outcome of a struggle between nations which they themselves have to a certain extent started. Divine will alone decides, and it does so in such a way as is helpful for spiritual higher development, even if this outcome is little beneficial to earthly life. For what people consider right and good need not be beneficial for the soul, and therefore people must also be prepared for an outcome which by no means corresponds to their will and expectation. It is not the individual's earthly well-being which is decisive but only people's spiritual development. But this would be called into question in the case of a desired outcome of world events, and God knows this and therefore intervenes himself. He brings it to a conclusion, that is, he directs world events into completely different directions. He ends it in a way which will not be very pleasant for people who expect great earthly success. People will be disappointed in every way because everything will turn out differently than it seems, and because the way of life will now be much easier and more enunciatory, and the improvement people expect will fail to materialize. The human will would never agree to this if a higher power did not clearly and distinctly make its will known, and the human being as such is powerless in the face of it. There is only a short time left before world events will undergo a sudden change which is of utmost importance spiritually as well as earthly. For this turn of events lays the foundation for later events, for the battle of faith, which is the consequence of divine intervention, because after it people are demanded to behave in a way which completely contravenes faith and divine teaching. People believe that they can restore the old conditions through such demands and therefore proceed rigorously. They have no consideration for people's faith but seek to completely eliminate it and make people apostate from it. And the adversity will not cease, it will merely be different than before. World events will certainly be over, yet humanity will not be released from the tribulation because it still needs it for its spiritual development, and therefore God himself will assert his power and his will so that humanity will recognize him and his working. Amen.